And we're back with another Mr. C geometry video. We have more geometry basics today. We'll start with a real quick review from yesterday. I want you to identify these items from yesterday and just simply shout them out or say them in your head. What do you see here? Perpendicular lines. They cross and they form a 90-degree angle. What do you see here? You see a ray. A ray starts with an origin point and a direction, one direction forever. We see a point. It's named Q. Parallel lines. Never get any closer, never get any farther away from each other. We see lines that are crossing each other. That's called an intersection or intersecting lines. Here we see a line. A line is a line that goes in both directions forever. We put an arrow on both ends. And the last one you see a line segment. A line segment is a part of a line that can be measured. It has end points. That was a review real quick, and here is today's lesson. So, we'll start with an angle. We know what lines are, and so a figure formed by a change of direction in any type of line. So an angle is where a line changes direction. Let's take a look at some examples. And here we see this red line changes direction a lot of different times. Every time it changes direction is an angle. Angle there, 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 and there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 angles there. We have this pink line changes direction one time, an angle here, angle there. We could actually, this one has the name, this one would be called an angle NPR or angle RPN. That's how you'd name that angle. And we have even a really, really shallow angle. This purple line kind of goes in that direction. It barely changes direction there, but that's still an angle. And by the way, the place where an angle changes direction is called a vertex. So I'm going to go back and identify the vertexes, or the vertices, sorry. So the exact place where a change of direction happens is a vertex. So here's one vertex there. Here's one vertex where it changes direction, that's the vertex. And it formed an angle, that's the vertex. And vertices are plural. So one vertex, 2 vertices, 3 vertices, 4 vertices, 5 vertices, and 6 vertices. This one here has one vertex here and one vertex here. So the vertex is the exact place where an angle changes direction. And the plural is vertices. So that was angle. Let's move on to degrees. And degrees. Degrees are units of measurement for angles, or turning, or spinning. You've already probably heard the word degrees in your life before, but let's go ahead and discuss exactly what it means. So, a full turn, a full circle measures 360 degrees. You've probably heard like a skater saying they did a 360. That means they start at like 0 there, and they go all the way around and make a full turn. That'd be 360. 360. And I forgot to put the little symbol of degrees. I'll go ahead and put that now. So this is 360 degrees. This little round circle is degrees symbol. 90 degrees, 180 degrees there, and 270 degrees there. Okay, so 1/4 of a turn is 90. So 1/4 would be from there to there. That'd be 1/4 of a turn. 1/4 is 90 degrees. A half turn, you start at 0 again. You go all the way around halfway. You'd be at 180. And then 3/4 turn or 3/4 turn would be starting here at the top there again. You'll past a quarter, past a half, to 3/4 or 3/4, you'd be at 270. You could probably see these kind of have a pattern. you may notice that you have a pattern like this of 0 degrees, then 90, then 180, then 270, and 360. And you may start seeing these numbers here of 0, 9, 18, 27, and 360. And those numbers come from, of course, the 9s when you do multiplication. 0, 9, 18, 27, and 36. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where we get the numbers there for a circle. So, review real quick on this page. Degrees are a way of measuring circles and turns. A full circle is 360. A quarter turn is 90. Half turn is 180. And 3/4 turn is 270. And they come from these patterns of numbers here. So that's degrees. Now that you know what degrees are, we can go ahead and start measuring angles. So, a right angle is an angle that measures exactly 90 degrees. And you see right angles everywhere. This piece of paper here has a right angle in it. They're just everywhere. So, here are some examples of right angles. And we have a right angle here that's called REM or MER. We have a right angle here that measures 90 degrees, and so that's why it's a right angle. And then we have a square here that has 4 right angles in it. And you'll sometimes see right angles identified by this little box in the corner. And that tells you that this is a right angle, that it measures 90 degrees. So we have some examples of right angles there. You'll see them everywhere. They're in pieces of paper. I have a Post-it note here. That's exactly where I measured this. They're just everywhere. Right angles are pretty much everywhere. Okay, so right angles are 90 degrees. Let's move on to acute angles. And acute angles, they measure less than 90 degrees. So any angle that measures less than 90 is acute. And sometimes teacher will talk about the word acute meaning small. So a acute angle is a small angle. So let's take a look at some examples. We have an acute angle there, less than 90. Acute angle here, less than 90. And even if it measures just one small bit less than 90 degrees, it will still be acute. We have one here that measures 89.5. It's just a little bit less than 90, but still acute. And then we have here a bunch of acute angles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 acute angles. So anything that measures less than 90 degrees is an acute angle. Okay, so after that we have obtuse angles, and obtuse angles measure more than 90. So obtuse angles measure more than 90 degrees. Okay, so we have some examples of obtuse. Obtuse is greater than 90. It's more open. Here we have 2 examples together. This line has a more than 90 there, more than 90 there. And then we have, just like the last example, even though it looks very, very close to a right angle, if it's anything larger than 90, it's going to be obtuse. So obtuse angles are greater than 90 degrees. And then we have an odd angle that rarely gets talked about, but it's still an angle. It's a straight angle. So the straight angle is an angle that measures exactly 180 degrees. And you may say it's a line, which I agree, it is a line, but it's still an angle. And you can be identified like this. If we have an angle here, this is the vertex here, and it measures all the way open to, we have a straight line like that. That would be a straight angle. So we may have this one called CIA or AIC. It may look like this. and it may look like this, where it's simply a straight line that's measured all the way open, and it measures 180 degrees. So that's a straight angle. And that is today's lesson. We'll go back with a review real quick. We had straight angles, exactly 180. Obtuse angles are more than 90. Acute angles are less than 90. Right angles are exactly 90. Degrees are the way that we measure angles. An angle is simply the place where a line changes direction and forms a shape. A vertex is the exact place where this happens. And that was more Geometry Basics with Mr. C. Thank you for learning.